Hey everybody, just a quick note that it's Saturday today and this footage was actually recorded last Wednesday. The collegiate cross-country season is approaching very quickly, which means my priorities are shifting pretty heavily, and that's just why I didn't get around to editing this quicker. So anyways, this will be just kind of a boring talking video. I'll explain why in the actual video, and I hope you find some type of enjoyment out of it, so catch you later. Okay, so I'm sitting here talking in a car. I know this is everybody's favorite vlogging thing. That's some sarcasm right there if you didn't catch it. But I kind of have to because I'm waiting for a storm to pass. It's been a mess of a day in terms of storms just because I have not had a good gap to get in my run. I thought I was going to have a gap around 3:30 and then another little storm popped up and I'm still waiting this one out. It should be over pretty quickly. So I figured I'd make good use of my time sitting here in the car. So anyways, I'm actually north of Pittsburgh here in Fort Scott. We're actually playing disc golf league here tonight at 6 o'clock instead of in Pittsburgh. And I figured I'd make a trip out of it and come run in a new area and then get in my round of disc golf afterwards. This video is not going to be exciting at all because I'm not able to get any running footage, but I've done a pretty good job documenting all of my primary workouts each week in the summer. And this is kind of one of my last good ones, and I want to document it in some way even if I can't get the running footage, so here I am. So the reason why I'm choosing not to record this one is because I'm doing a tempo run, and it's been about 6 weeks I believe since I've done a tempo run. That was 5 miles out on the dirt roads at 5:45 pace. Today I'm planning on doing 5 miles once again, except there's going to be some different conditions, so it may be hard to compare the two, but I'm hoping to see some progress in some way. So today's run is going to be on pavement, which is a little faster surface. The weather is probably going to be nicer than it was 6 weeks ago. The rain has really helped keep things cool today, but the big difference is that today's route is going to be very, very hilly. I've mapped out a route that goes out and back, and it's pretty much up a big hill, down a big hill, up a big hill, down a big hill, about 6 times throughout the route. I don't think there's really an ounce of flat on this thing, so that'll be challenging, but I'll enjoy it. So I'm planning on 3 miles easy, 5 miles of tempo or lactate threshold, and then 3 miles easy to make it 11 miles for the day. I won't really be able to check splits throughout other than my halfway split just because I know where my turnaround point is, but I don't know where any of the mile splits are, so I'll basically be going off of effort for the entire run. I really don't like recording anything over a moderate pace, so like I said, there's not going to be any footage of this run, so I'll just be back with the details later, but right now I've just got to wait for this thunder and lightning to pass by, and then I'll be good to go. So nearly everything that could go wrong with that workout did go wrong, but on the bright side, I'm still alive and I'm still healthy, so things could be much worse. I need to go finish up my cool down right now though, because disc golf league is starting in about 30 minutes and I still need to stretch after that. So I'll explain everything after disc golf when I get back home. So I just made it back home and I've still got to get in my strength exercises and my core, but I figured I would go on this rant first. So after I finished talking to the camera earlier, I had to wait out the storm and wait to see when there was going to be an opening, and finally it looked like there was one, so I started on my warm-up, which I was just doing 21 minutes. I was in an unfamiliar area, so I didn't really know the mileage or anything, so I was just running around the park, and then I decided that I wanted to scope out the tempo route a little bit. So I head out on the tempo route to finish up my time, and no more than probably 500 or 600 meters into the tempo route, a few angry dogs come running out at me, and one in particular was very angry. So I deal with dogs out on country roads all the time, and most of them are nice, but there are a few angry ones. But even the angry ones, they're usually all bark and no bite, and they'll just annoy you for a little bit, and they'll be on their way after you run down the road a little bit. But this one in particular was very, very angry, like so angry that it tried to bite me a couple times. So sorry to any of you animal lovers out there. I love animals just as much as anyone, but if it's trying to bite me, then I'm going to defend myself. So I send a kick its way and kind of graze its face. So that was enough to keep the dog away from me a little bit. It was just running on the other side of the road, bugged me for a little bit longer, and left me alone after that. The problem here is that I need to run back by that house again unless I'm doing like a 14-mile loop around to get back to the park the opposite way. So I know I've got to encounter those dogs again, so turn around when I need to in my time, And so I'm encountering the dogs again. Of course, they come running back out at me, and I'm pretty far away from the house. And it takes a while for the owner to realize that its dogs are out barking at me and bugging me. And so I've got to slowly walk back towards the house until the owner finally realizes they're out there. So he slowly walks back and grabs his dog, and I asked the owner, can you keep your dogs tied up for just 40 more minutes to let me get in this workout? So he says yeah, and I'm able to finish my warm-up, get back to the start of the tempo route, and at this point, it looks like another storm is forming. So normally I do some drills and strides and whatnot before pretty much every workout, and this time I decided, okay, I better just start this workout ASAP if I want to try to get it in. So I started back out on the tempo route. I was a little bit afraid that the owner would not actually abide by keeping the dogs tied up or putting them inside, whatever, but they did not come running back out at me, so fortunately I was good there. So I make it past the house, take a right turn, so I'm heading west, and then I see I'm heading pretty much directly into this storm. It was kind of a wooded area, so I couldn't see exactly where I was at in the beginning, but once I got in the open, I was running straight into the storm, and a couple lightning strikes hit somewhat close to me in front of me, and so I noped out of there real quick, turned around, and started heading back towards my car. So now, as I'm running back towards my car, it starts downpouring on me, and at this point, I don't know how far I'm going, because as most of you know, I don't like using a GPS watch, so I've just got the old Timex, and I decide, okay, as long as it looks like the storm's gonna pass by pretty quickly, and there was a pretty distinct line, so as long as I kept running north, I was pretty much running out of the storm, and so I kept heading that way and decided I was just gonna run for time. I was just gonna do 30 minutes. You know, I don't know how far I would have run, but I know what a lactate threshold effort feels like, so I could pretty much get the same effect. So my workout changes to just a 30-minute threshold run. So I'm heading north out of the park, and I don't know where I'm going at all, but I just figure I'm just gonna do an out and back to get my 30 minutes in. And so I'm running out that way, and then it ends up turning into a brick road, and everything's really slick because the traction, the tread on my shoes is getting pretty worn down, so I have bad traction on my shoes. I'm running on slick brick roads from the rain, and especially there was a kind of hilly area, so that just made the slippage a little bit worse. So I'm just getting so frustrated with all these things piling on top of each other, and eventually I realized that I'm not even working that hard. I'm not really going at the effort that I should be, just because my mind is elsewhere, and I just kind of go through the motions for the rest of the workout. I finished my 30 minutes, and that was it. At that point it was still raining a little bit, but I didn't have any thunder or lightning to worry about, so went on my way on my cool down and finished that up and got in my 11 miles for the day. So I got in my volume for the day, but not quite the effort that I was looking for, definitely not the good note that I was looking to end my primary summer workouts on, but it's not a big deal. I mean, this is the first workout that hasn't really gone to plan all summer, so if this one instance is the worst thing that happens, then I'll take that. So the important thing to realize here is that it's okay to be frustrated with workout, but it is far from the end of the world if you have a bad workout every now and then. And I wouldn't even say this workout was bad. There was just a lot of things that didn't go my way, and I wasn't able to get in the workout as intended. I'll still be moving on to tomorrow feeling perfectly fine, so it's not a big deal. Sometimes you just got to take your losses and move on to the next one, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's the end of my rant, and I'll see you in the next video.